Armenian. This is Patil Toutounjian coming to you from Yerevan. And before we begin, I just want to say thank you so much. We've reached 2,000 subscribers. I can't tell you how much I love this community. I even painted my nails red for YouTube to celebrate and to say thank you to you guys. I will be giving away 4 $100 gift cards to Dadik Streetwear, and all you have to do to be entered is hit the subscribe button, and I will be announcing the winner in upcoming videos. So it will be a raffle, and to enter you just have to subscribe. So hit subscribe, like, you know, now if you want. So basically a lot of you have reached out to me asking me that they are planning their visit to Armenia or planning a move to Armenia, whether it's for short term or long term, and have been asking me for budgeting and cost and how much things cost. And this is a very tricky question because based on your lifestyle and your habits and a lot of variance, it could cost you different things to be living here. So what I decided to do is create a short videos, or create a playlist of short videos that will talk about different categories and then how much things cost, kind of like a menu item. And then based on, you would know best how you would live, you would calculate how much things would cost. So these categories would be transportation, food, restaurants, like gyms, entertainment, adventures, night outs, so many different categories. So stay tuned. Also hit the bell. I've never said this thing. Click on the bell thingy so you get notified when these things are up. But today's will be on transportation. I even brought notes because I'm really bad at math and conversions, so I will read from my notes how much things cost, and then you guys will check based on your lifestyle, like I said, how much you would think it would cost for you. So let's start. Two more notes before we begin is that I will create a separate playlist to include these videos called something like Budget for Armenia or Costs in Armenia or something like that, and I will add them there in case someone is interested in this aspect of the videos, so they can just easily go and find them. And then the second thing is I will make sure that any app names that I mentioned during this video, I will include the link of that app in the App Store in the description of this video, so it's easier for you guys to just go and download them, whether before you arrive to Armenia or after, in case you're interested in them. Okay, let's go and begin. Let's just go ahead and begin learning English as we go. Okay, so the options of transportation that you would have in Armenia would be walking, taking the subway, taking the public buses. You can do car rentals. Yes, I'm looking at my notes. You can ride bikes if you're not to ride bikes, or electrical bikes if you don't know how to ride bikes like me, or if you're going longer distance. You can also do taxis, obviously. So the apps that I would recommend downloading from these categories for the taxis would be Gigi or Yandex, and I'll now just kind of share my experience with each of them. And then for the bikes and electrical bikes would be Mimo and Bikeshare Armenia. For the Bikeshare, make sure to check out, I'm gonna wait for the bus to pass by. Speaking of buses, for the Bikeshare, make sure to check out my Bikeshare video. I'll include the link at the end of this video so you can check it out. I've done a bit more of like an in-depth, it wasn't that in-depth, I couldn't even ride the bike, but you can check it out where I try to ride the bike, so you'll see a bit more details on it. But those are kind of the apps that I would recommend when it comes to transportation. At one point someone told me that there's this app called A2B where you can see, we can put both starting and address, and then this app will show you which buses you're supposed to take. Honestly, I didn't have the best experience with it, so I just deleted it. So, you know. And in terms of the subway, also I made a video where I ride every single subway station in Armenia or in Yerevan, which could also mean Armenia because I think there's only subway in Yerevan. So check that one out as well. if you want to see more how like the whole subway experience is. Okay, so now I'm just gonna quickly share my experience about these modes of transportation, I guess. So when it comes to walking, if it's very much based on to where your apartment is and where you're going. If you're living in city center and you only go to places in city center, which I don't recommend, I would recommend you to kind of go out of the bubble and experience all of Armenia. But if you're just in the city center, your workplace is just in city center, then you would probably be walking to places on average, like very much on average, it's really based on locations. In 15 minutes you can get to places that you need to get. So obviously walking is free and you get to experience the city. So whenever you can, I would recommend walking, I guess, just like I'm doing now. In terms of the subway, definitely check out that subway video that I was mentioning. I will add like a map of the subway somewhere on the screen right now. But so it opens at 7 a.m. It closes around 11:30. When it comes to the subway, honestly, the best way to explain it is check out that subway video that I made. It basically is perfect to take you from one area to the next. I don't know if it will take you if you're going to like very close proximity places from each other. I used to take the subway every day to work when I used to live on Toutounjian and Bikeshare. This is like a few years ago, and I would go to Republic Square for work. So walking distance, it was basically 20 minutes, and subway was also 20 minutes. I just used to take it because it was early in the morning and I just didn't feel like walking. So it's really up to you. When it comes to buses, they take you to more specific places. The only thing is that on the buses, it tells you where the next stops are. They're in Armenian. If you're not 100% sure, make sure to ask someone. I also want to mention that buses, there are also like mini buses, and they're all kind of connected service together. So you just need to read where the next stops are and go to the stops. There are frequent stops, like every few steps you will find another stop, and then you just need to find out where you're going. And then when it comes to car rentals, I've never done this in Armenia, so whoever has information on it, please put it in the comment. I will pin your comment so it's the first and people can learn from you. I honestly have never done it. If you're traveling outside of Yerevan, I think they're per day. So if you're traveling outside of Yerevan or you're going between like on a road trip or something, I think it would be a good idea if you're with a few people to do this. But I've never done it, so whoever has experience with this and which companies they've used, please let us know. And like I said, I will pin your comment. When it comes to bikes, so the two apps to download would be Bikeshare Armenia and Mimo. They are, I will talk about the cost after, but those are, yeah, like if you know how to ride bikes, they're technically like open 24 hours because you just take it from the street, you tell the app, you scan the code, whatever, you tell them that you're starting a ride, and then you can use it. So honestly, like if you know how to ride bikes and if you're traveling reasonable distance, this would be a great mode of transportation to use. When it comes to taxis, like I said, the two apps that I would include their links in the description are Yandex and Gigi. I know there are a bunch of other ones as well. Let me know if you've had great experience with one of them. I think there's one called U Taxi. I've heard about one more, but I can't remember it now. Anyway, let me know, or you can get a taxi from the street. I personally always prefer to just do it through the app. You would know beforehand how much it costs. You can connect your card to it, so when you arrive it's like, you know, easier to just get off. So those are my two apps that I would recommend. I personally prefer Gigi's customer service, but Yandex has more cars, which means you will get a car quicker when you order one. I just stopped here because I see a car that has a Gigi sticker, and I just want to show you, because just like Uber, when you order these taxis, you will see on Gigi specifically, I don't think I've seen one on Yandex, but you will see the Gigi logo decal or sticker on the back of the car. I'm just gonna let people pass and I will show you. Just like this one. So when your Gigi car arrives, you will see the sticker on it. You will also know what kind of car model and color it is before it arrives. Okay, moving on to the fun part, the cost. So subways and the public buses and the mini buses cost 100 dirham, which, let me take a look at my notes, which means it's 20 cents. So I'm saying the conversion all in USD. I will, and obviously the first amount I'm saying is in Armenian dirhams. So based on where you're coming from, check out the conversion rates, but I'll mention for the sake of this video, I will do them in USD. So yeah, but public buses and subways are 100 dirham. When you're going into the subway, you have to use cash to purchase tokens and then use the token to get into the subway. When you're using the buses, you can just pay cash, or not you can only pay cash. So you have the 100 dirham coins and you just pay with them. Next is taxis. So taxis obviously operate 24 hours. If you're staying out late or if you're going somewhere further or you just want to get a cab. So like I said earlier, with Gigi and Yandex, you can just connect your card, like your credit card, to it, and it's easier that way. But usually they used to have a minimum ride. So if you're really traveling super close, Gigi would be 600 dirhams and Yandex would be 400. But lately, I don't know if it's the season or it's based on the hour that you're calling the taxi at, like if it's rush hour or if it's raining for some reason, the minimum cost, no matter how far you're traveling, would be 1,000 dirham, and it will show you on the app before you order. This is a cool thing about it, like before you call the taxi, it tells you how much your ride will cost. So even if you're going from like Yerevan to Gyumri, for example, you will know how much it will cost you before you even call it. So you can even do the research now if you want. If you download the apps and you know where you're going to be living approximately and you want to get an idea of how much things cost, you can do it now. So recently the minimum rate has been 1,000 dirhams, which is $2 USD. So let's say you're traveling for like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away or so, it would be about $2 USD. So do the math, check out how often you'll use a taxi to see how much it will cost you. I usually, if I stay out late, I go home, even if I live close by to the place I'm going home from, I would call a taxi just to get there fast, you know. If you've watched my previous videos of going to Toutounjian or a day in Gyumri, you'll see that I've also used Gigi to go from Yerevan to Gyumri. And the cool thing is that you don't have to previously let the drivers know that you're going to a different city. You basically call it through the app and you mention where your destination is, and most likely when they arrive they won't have an issue with it. Like they will see it before they accept the ride, just like Uber. So it's not like you have to plan so far in advance. Like the day I went to Gyumri, I remember I just woke up and I was like, oh, I'm going to Gyumri today, and I just called the Gigi and I went. But obviously it's further, so both Toutounjian and Gyumri actually cost me 15,000 Armenian dirhams to get from Yerevan, approximately from Gentron. So that would be $30. So not really bad, but it is expensive for Armenia. So keep that in mind. Other ways you can go to Gyumri is taking the train, which would be approximately 2,000 dirhams. But like I said, the train would be scheduled and you have to be there at the scheduled time. I just kind of spontaneously went there. So yeah, I called it Gigi. Last but not least, for the bikes, it is per minute 10 Armenian dirhams, which is $0.020. So less than 20 cents by a lot. This is getting complicated again for me. So that is it for the cost in terms of transportation. If I missed something, let me know. If you think this is a good idea and this is helpful, I'll continue to do the series of the short videos telling you about costs per category, I guess. I have a bunch on the list in terms of categories, but let me know things that you're thinking about, and if it's not on the list, I'll add it to the list. And before we go, I definitely want to show you what the buses look like and what the bus stations look like. So I'll show you that, and then I'll finish this video as I go towards the next bus station to show you the buses. I just want to say thank you again. Love you. Bye.